So it still doesn't seem real, does it, Vikings fans, where the Detroit Lions traded the former number 8 overall pick to a division rival for just a swappy swap of a second for a fourth and then a third for a fourth. And you're feeling good. You're absolutely feeling fantastic about it. TJ Hockenson, I think, can bring an absolute dynamic wrinkle to this offense, and the Vikings are going for it, man. You know, Kwesi's like, F them picks, even though they still have the same number of picks. They're just downgraded in terms of rounds, not even that far. And Kwesi's like, this year has a chance to be very special. Not bad for a competitive rebuild. So Kevin O'Connell gets himself another weapon. Wes Phillips, remember, was a tight ends coach back in the day, so he has affinity for them as well. Wes Phillips and I both like tight ends. Nailed it. So I think that Hockenson, a.k.a. Gronkinson, is going to get after it, man. And also, I mean, TJ Hockenson is only 25. He's got the 5th-year option next year, and he could be part of this franchise for a long time. Like, it could be the JJ and TJ. That's going to be the offense. That's going to be the pillars going forward, man. But here are five things that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings offense. Number 1, size. So this seems like an obvious one, right? But Irv Smith was a 6'2 tight end. Well, it still is. Didn't mean to use past tense. But also, I mean, Johnny Munt is 6'4", which is fine, except I think Munt is a better tight end too. But Hockenson is a legit 6'5", 244, monster wingspan. I mean, all the receivers, I mean, Jefferson 6'2", Thielen 6'2". Like, we don't have that, hey, F it, TJ's down there. We just don't have that go up and get it option in the middle of the field. He's tall. He's filled out nicely his frame, and also he's got a monster wingspan. And it just feels like he's been underutilized in Detroit. I think the Vikings could potentially unlock that potential. Next up, number 2 thing that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings: blocking. Now, his PFF grades are sort of hit or miss, but he does have a career 62.3 PFF grade as a run blocker. He's growing into his frame. Now, would you put him on the level of like a George Kittle, another Iowa tight end alum, or Rob Gronkowski in terms of inline blocking? No. But would you put him in the same, slightly below Kelsey, slightly below Mark Andrews? Yes, I think he's perfectly fine. I think that especially as he grows into this offense, I think that as the coaching staff gets to TJ Hockenson, I think that he's going to integrate really well into what this team wants to do, both in the run game as well as obviously in the passing game. Next up, thing number 3 that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings: potential. Potential, because he was the number 8 overall selection in 2019. He's had 3 different offense coordinators in Detroit. One just got fired. He's got Jared Goff as his quarterback. The last time he had Stafford in 2020, and also when he played a full 16-game season, he went to the Pro Bowl. No big deal. And at Iowa, I mean, he had Nate Stanley. And he had Kirk Ferentz and Brian Ferentz and all that stuff. So I actually believe that with a legit offensive coordinator in Wes Phillips, as well as a legit play caller in Kevin O'Connell, an offensive-minded head coach, a solid quarterback in Kirk Cousins, other weapons are like Jefferson and Thielen and KJ that are going to take attention away from him, a fantastic running game which is going to open up the passing game. I think that TJ Hockenson has a chance to become a legitimate top 3, top 4 tight end. Like, I'm talking Kittle, I'm talking Kelsey, I'm talking Andrews. I truly believe that Hockenson can be that guy. I mean, he's already top 10. Easily top 10. I think he could ascend even more. Next up, thing number 4 that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings: vertical threat. So he has a career 11.1 yards per catch. I remember that's been in the Lions offense. Not so much. 15.2 yards per catch this season, 7.2 yards per target, and also his ADOT is pretty damn solid. So I think that the Vikings, they want to push the ball vertically, and that's the thing that has sort of been lacking in the offense. Even though they've been solid, even though they scored over 30 against Arizona the first time this season, you've been missing those big chunk plays. And I think that Hockenson, as so much attention is going to Dalvin now, who's really starting to heat up. Obviously, attention is going to Jefferson and Thielen. I think that Hockenson down the middle is going to be beautiful. And you saw what Cousins has done at times with Jordan Reed back in Washington. You saw what he did at times with Kyle Rudolph here with the Vikings. So I do think that Hockenson is just going to be that beautiful security blanket. It's like, hey, F it, 87's down there somewhere. And also, I think that he's going to be a red zone monster. I think that he truly does change the game, because don't get me wrong, Irv Smith is a solid tight end when he's on the field, but Hockenson is just that guy. Like the pre-draft comparisons between him and Travis Kelce, I think, are very apt. Hockenson, beyond his size, is just an absolute physical freak as well. So I think he's going to be a problem for opposing defenses. Lastly, thing number 5 that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings: play action. So Kirk Cousins is one of the better play-action quarterbacks in the National Football League, and what's going to be beautiful is, especially since the Minnesota movement company up front, the offensive line is already adept at running the ball. Dalvin's starting to heat up, like we mentioned, and Hockenson, when he's in there, and even when the Vikings go 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Hockenson and Munt in there, or 22, Hockenson, Munt, and CJ. So heavy personnel, defenses are going to be stuck in base personnel, and then Hockenson, all of a sudden off of play action, is running against a linebacker who he's too fast for, or running against a safety who he's too big for, and also to a degree too fast for. So I think it's going to be just beautiful, man, and it just opens up more options. I think that just adding Jalen Reagor, adding TJ Hockenson, I think that the Vikings offense has already in season added so many new wrinkles that this is just going to be beautiful, man. Just going to be beautiful. And like I said, he's only 25. Like, Jefferson and TJ are going to be the future of this Vikings offense. Like, they're stylistically, it's not one for one, but is it going to be like a Tyreek and Kelce sort of relationship? You know, when they were at their peak, it's possible, man. It's possible. So I love the pickup. Kwesi, I love that he's got the huevos to trade in division, and also he fleeced the Lions twice. He got the better of Detroit in both of those deals. So, man, it's exciting. I mean, this has a chance to be a very, very special season, and Hockenson is going to be a big part of that, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. 5 things that TJ Hockenson brings to the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, really good at talking. Skol, production value.